Welcome back to REMIC TV. You're watching The Elephant in the Room, and on this episode we're interviewing Dr. Turi, who has his hands in a million different pies, but most interesting, he has some interesting extraterrestrial experiences. Now, Dr. Turi, can you tell us a little bit more? What happened with your wife and the baby? Can you go into more detail about that?
Yeah, basically, Brigitte, my ex-wife, was a model, and we were supposed to go to Disneyland where she had a show. And as we were driving on the highway, we left at 8 o'clock exactly. I remember that very clearly. Okay. We drove about 15 minutes, and we drove under a bridge. The next thing I know, I didn't feel the wheel on the car, and I didn't know where I was, literally. Right. So I took the first exit, and I ended up on a big parking lot, and there was 3 Mexican people on the back of a white Toyota having there. And could you tell me where I am? They told me you are after Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Zoo. And I said, excuse me? And then I said, what time is it? And they said it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, now, providing there is no cops to stop me, and I'm driving a Ferrari at 150 miles per hour, there is no way I could have made those 90 miles into the future, literally. And then, of course, this is where I realized that we were abducted. It was a shock like you have no idea for my wife and I. Mm-hmm.
And she was pregnant?
Yeah, oh yeah, she was pregnant.
And then she wasn't anymore?
No. And then not only this, after the encounter, she had a scar just above the hairline, about 2 inches long, but it was not like a cat. It was like I cannot explain the way she was. And then, of course, that literally messed her head up.
Yes, of course.
She took off, she divorced me, and I told her before I got married all my experiences about UFOs, the 3 previous experiences. She was laughing at me because she's very logical, she's very practical, and then she went into that, and that was enough to destroy our marriage.
Now, how far along was she?
Oh, she was about 3 or 4 months. Okay,
so visibly showing or not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I knew it. She knew it too.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was such a shock. She just moved away. That was it.
Oh dear.
And she never returned in the house after that, because the night before she had like a premonition. She was laying down on the floor in a fetus position. She was crying. She made me look everywhere in the house. I thought I was going to call 911 because I never saw her so panicking before. It was the first time. So she had a premonition that something wrong was going to happen, and she knew that something was in the house the night before.
Ah, that's strange. And then the next day this happened. Well, maybe what we can get into is Dr. Turi can tell us a little bit more about his premonitions. Now, Dr. Turi has been known to predict a lot of things. Some of the natural disasters that have happened in the past, Dr. Turi has been known to predict.
Basically, every single major event, not to forget the 911,
yes,
post-Asian tsunami, Hurricane Katrina on national radio with George Norway with millions of listeners, a series of earthquakes, and all the difference between me and another person is that not only my work is documented and dated, it is also printed a year before in my books. And if you go to my website, drturi.com, you click on predictions, you have it all there. So this is extraterrestrial cannot give you a toy or a tool because that doesn't agree with antimatter. But psychically and spiritually, they give me an incredible gift, which is very obvious, and I'm using it.
So you feel that because of your your upbringing, your otherworldly experience, you have this wonderful gift now. Can you tell us something that you've used it for in the past? What have you predicted?
As I said, I predict every major news. The
9/11,
okay. 9/11, the tsunami, the post-tsunami in Asia, Katrina on national radio. It's an algorithm, and you can go on my website and listen to me and Art Bell, if you heard of Art Bell on Coast to Coast. In 1995, I told him to be ready for a religious war with America in the Middle East, and that was well before Osama bin Laden came into the picture. And it's there. You can hear me saying that.
And how accurate are your predictions? Are they accurate as to the number of deaths? Are they accurate to the date? What is it exact?
They are exact, and if you take the time to investigate my website or my Cosmic Code website, they're happening every single day. I'm there to update them all the time, and they've been printed a year before. My top one is the 9/11, when I wrote every single thing in detail a year before.
Right.
And because it is dated, printed, and published, it becomes unarguable, and that's what makes a difference between Dr. Turi and someone else.
Exactly. Now, when you predict these things, what happens? Do you dream about them? Do you wake up with the knowledge of them?
No, I'm not a psychic.
Okay.
No, I develop a software, but unlike NASA, I know that the stars are a little bit more than dead rock hanging out there for the sake of beauty. The stars are an essence of spiritual values, an essence that is connected with the cosmic code and interact with the human psyche.
Right.
The news repeat themselves. The weather has a pattern. The season has a pattern. Everything has a pattern. And I know the dynamics, and I use a software that I designed to do so. There's nothing psychic about my work. This is why I have students all over the world that do exactly what I do. It's a matter of education.
And with your predictions, so it is a software, it is a science. When you predict something as disastrous as 9/11, do you try to do anything that could stop it? Do you talk to any powers to be, or yes? Maybe.
Twice I tried to reach NASA. Yes. Twice I tried to reach NASA, begging them not to send the shuttle. I said, if you send the shuttle, you're going to kill 7 astronauts. And they didn't listen. Twice. I'm trying very hard, but they don't listen. They're afraid of the ridicule, and because they have no cosmic consciousness or no awareness of my methodology, they classified me as another Mrs. Cleo, and in the process they're missing incredible information that could allow them, if they were working with me, to find the location and the timing of the next earthquake.
Now, has this ever gotten you in trouble? Like, predicting things could be seen as a threat.
It is. It scares a lot of people, but 99.09% of the people in this world don't have cosmic consciousness. They are robots. I mean, if you decide to go shopping tomorrow, today, and you see the red light or the stop sign in the street, you are going to stop because you have to respect the laws of man. But because you do not see the other side of my hand doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There is another set of laws written in light. This is how God speaks to his children. That's why in the Bible it is said, I'll talk to you, you won't hear me. I present myself to you, you won't see me. One has to raise his cosmic consciousness to understand the dynamics of the universe and use the laws and use the sign, because that's what God has enslaved every one of his children to do, to raise their vibrations.
Absolutely. So you have a bunch of students who you are teaching to make these predictions. How many students do you have?
They're all over the world.
They're all over the world.
Yes, and I have a next course coming up in June right here in Phoenix.
Okay. And how could we reach you if we're interested in this? What's your contact?
Well, basically, just Google Dr. Turi. You're going to have me by the million. dr.turi.
Okay.
And you're going to have millions of pages. I'm all over the place.
All right. So, Dr. Turi, you predicted things in the past that have come true. What's coming up in the future?
Well, as far as the year 2012 is concerned, do not fall for apocalyptic promoters or anything of this nature. This is not the end of the world, okay?
Okay.
The year 2012 is a golden door, an opening for society, for humanity to be more perceptive to metaphysics. The human nature, the human spirit is raising to a higher level of curiosity. The age of Pisces, which is basically the promoter of all the religions of the past, is dying. It's being replaced by the new age of Aquarius, and Aquarius rules technology, new age, astrology, UFO, the impossible, the incredible, the future of humanity, and you are yourself using high-tech, a promoter of the new age, by passing on the type of information that the church doesn't want you to know, basically, when you look at it. So this new age of Aquarius is offering an opportunity, a new platform for humanity to get access to information that they would not get otherwise.
Right.
It's so good when you look at it.
So this is not, you said don't listen to the Mayan predictions or any of that. I mean, the Mayan date is supposedly coming up, but you think that we're more advanced than that and we figured out these things are not going to happen?
Well, basically, the Mayan calendar, I was just telling you, it's an end of an age.
Okay.
And sudden enough, when the conquistador went up there and destroyed everybody, they could not follow up on the calendar. They had nobody. You know, it's distraction that was brought from Europe. But in many ways, the main energy for the next 2 years is a wake-up call. It's things that you laugh at, like the reality of extraterrestrial, things that are hidden, that are secrets, involving the government, the bank, the RAS, everything that's under the table is going to come to the light. It's a wake-up call type of 2 years, which will also bring us to the realization of mortality in terms of the possibility of nuclear war with Iran, which I already see taking place. What I'm trying to tell you is it is not all doom and gloom. I trust the human spirit, I trust its ingenuity and technology to save the day.
All right. Well, that's some good news for us in the year 2012. We will be right back. This is The Elephant in the Room. I'm Jasmine Bowen on REMIC TV, and we're talking to Dr. Turi, who's telling us that 2012 will be a good year. Catch you in a moment.